Welcome to the channel. I'm going to try to do a weekly video looking at the next week, what we could possibly see happen in the markets. So let's start with the S&P 500, the ES, on the 4-hour chart. We're going to start with the 4-hour chart, then daily, weekly, and a monthly chart. So we were on a downtrend, but this red bar was immediately taken out by this huge, powerful green bar. There's resistance at the 200 moving day average. So we should probably see a little pullback and then just rocket straight up to the 4,440 area. On the daily chart, same thing. We see this big bottoming tail off of 200 moving day average. So 4,400 and 4,440 seems to be resistance. So this week should be a green day. On the weekly chart, we saw resistance of the 50-day moving average. So if we take out this red candle, 4,400, 4,440 would be the target on the weekly. On the monthly chart, same thing. So should be a bullish week. Let's go with the Nasdaq 4-hour chart. As we see, same thing happened. The bulls just took over the market on Friday. Took out this red bar. It's at the resistance of 15,200, close to it. But let's see what the daily looks like. Yeah, there's a little resistance with 15,200 area with the 50-day moving average. So maybe the S&P 500 will have a better bullish day than the Nasdaq. And the weekly chart looks the same way as the S&P. And the monthly chart, same way. The Dow Jones on the 4-hour chart is same thing. Huge, huge green bar. 34,400 area is the resistance. On a daily, 3,400, the 200-day moving average, and 34,200 with the 20-day moving average declining. So that would be a resistance. Weekly chart, if this bottoming tail gets taken out, testing the 20 moving average of 34,500 or so is not out of the question. Monthly chart, same thing. The 20 moving average was support, so it should be a bullish week for the Dow Jones as well, looks like. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. This is the Russell 2000. Once again, this is the same thing. red bar taken out, but huge green bar. 50-day moving average resisting. So small pullback and just take off to the upside. 18,040 or so is resistance on the 4-hour chart. Daily, same thing. 18,000. Yeah, the 20 moving day average. 18,000 or so would be a resistance. And on a weekly, same thing. And the monthly is in a downward trend, of course. So we'll see what happens. Let's go with oil. 4-hour chart. Start with 4 hours. These tails were being tested. So I see bullish week for oil. There will be resistance around $85 or so, with the 20-day moving average declining and this tail on the red bar and this powerful red bar down. So on the daily, the moving averages are rising, the 50 and the 20. So $85 target is reasonable. Weekly chart. This is a problematic bar, this red bar. But a pullback to $85 or so is not out of the question. On the monthly chart, of course, this is only first week out of the month, so we have 3 more weeks to go. So anything can happen, but this bar taking out this green bar is not a good thing. But in 3 weeks, this can be erased and hit the $100 mark. Gold. Let's take a look at the gold 4-hour chart. I like what I see. I see bullish trend here with this green bar and the bottom tail forming huge power to the upside. The 50-day moving average is declining, so that will be resistance on the 4-hour chart. On the daily, I like how it took out these tails. So I'm moving up 50% or so of this down move. 1880 would be not out of the question. Weekly chart, the 200-day moving average was support and it bounced off. So the 50 is rising, the 200 moving day average is rising. So I see gold going up this week. Like I said, anything can happen. And the monthly chart, same thing. The 50 is rising as support. So first week out of the month, anything can happen, but I see a bullish week. Silver. As you remember last week, I called for a huge down move on this bar off of 200-day moving average. This topping tail produced this huge move. The following day, the silver dropped like 4.5%, 5%. And now we see a bottom forming, and these two bars were taken out by this big green bar, which I like the move to the upside and possibly see 2240, 2250 or so. Weekly chart, same thing. All the moving averages are rising, and if this bar gets taken out, 2240, 2250, we're going up the following week. And the monthly chart, the 50-day moving average is rising, the 200-day moving average is rising. It's acting as support. So I like this thing going up, going back up. Bitcoin, let's take a look at Bitcoin. This is interesting. On a 4-hour chart, took out this red bar with the powerful green bar. It has not taken out this whole big red bar. So if we take this thing out, we're going higher. We're going to probably test possibly 30,000. And same thing. This is BTC futures. So this is a little bit different charts versus the BTC on the Bitstamp. They look a little bit different with the averages, but BTC futures looks like they tried to break the 50-day moving average, but it bounced off the 50-day moving average, and we might be seeing higher prices on the daily. Weekly, same thing. The 200 is showing a little resistance, but we could be seeing higher prices on a monthly, off over the 50-day moving average, and it's bouncing off of a 20-day moving average, declining, but stayed above it. So we could possibly see, like I said, 30,000 or so. But again, anything can happen. See the charts on the forex, they look a little bit different. The moving averages are placed in a little bit different spots. So let's look at the daily here. Okay, see, the 200-day moving average is resisting the upward movement, but on the BTC, it's the 200-day moving average is below it. So that's a little conflicting. But if it breaks through the 200-day moving average, like I said, we could see 30,000. On a weekly, same thing. And the monthly chart, same thing as the futures, BTC. So that's it. If you like what you see, subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks.